5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, YouTubers and friends, welcome to Flashing Your Pants, Ed Marvin live with the latest news and updates.
Hey, YouTubers and friends, welcome. I didn't bring my other camera. I'm using the one on my laptop. I hope you all can hear me well. I'm using the StreamYards, as you could tell by that right up there. Right, Joseph. Well, welcome, Joseph. Welcome, whoever else is in the chat room. Say something. Let me see your face. I'm in my home base at the beautiful Swank West Lease of the GPAA, home of the Buckeye chapter, and I'm here for their 17th annual Fossick Days. I know Paul C's here. He's camped down the way, and a few other people that I know. But should be a really good time. I thought I'd come on and do a live with you. Sorry about the quality. Hey, Doug, how are you? Welcome. Jeff Otworth. Hello, hola. Let me think. 4 quarts in a gallon, 16 ounces to a pound, 30 beers in a box. Yep, I'm a subscriber. Very good. Well, I'm using my company's phone hotspot. So, Taylor, if you're watching, or Sarah, hope you don't mind. But I'll try to go live maybe during the event. I'll be busy in my booth out front of my trailer. I have some odds and ends and some Dream Mat products. Well, prospectorsdream.com, the makers of Dream Mat products. Like to sell all the thermoform sluices I have. I know during Tuesday night at Hey Now Live, you definitely don't see me drinking a beer. And I'm going to have a cigarette, and you definitely hardly never see me doing that. But this isn't Tuesday night Hangout Live. And this isn't brought to you by anyone other than Flash in Your Pan Productions. Like Tuesday night Hangout Live is brought to you by our friends over at the Ohio State Prospectors Association, or the Buckeye chapter of the GPAA, or our very good friends over at prospectorsstream.com, along with Carolina Prospectors and a couple others, California Mining Journal, and just to name a handful. Kane, how you doing, Kane? Good to see you. Hear me well, not too soft, not too loud. I don't have earbuds in like I normally do at home, but at home I got a streaming computer with 3 monitors, and here I'm stuck to my laptop with a crappy camera and whatnot. Mr. Lodak, good. Thank you, Kane. Thank you, Doug. Jeff, are you going to come down to Fossick? It's this weekend. On mobile sounds good. You're in Zoom. Watch party tonight, Friday nights, and other nights. If you're part, I must say, yes, I forgot. For many years, Flash in Your Pan has a very good relationship with Prospectorsstream.com. And Mr. Lodak and I are members there. And I believe Jeff Otworth is. And GoPro Unlimited and the legend Ken, Mountain Man Ken is. Brian Wilder, American Gold Prospectors, Thomas Folks, all kinds are members over at goldprospectorspace.com. And they're the home of Prospectors Radio every Sunday. But my show, Tuesday Night Hangout Live, is also brought to you by them, which next Tuesday, we're having the prospecting geologist on, Matt. Should be a really good show. Be a nice return show of his. But I might do some lives in short form, in portrait form, with my phone tomorrow. I'll be in the booth talking to people and selling stuff and representing Tuesday Night Hangout Live, Flash in Your Pan Productions, and Take a Bet Prospecting Project. I should have a nugget or two for some donation razzles there, or raffles on tomorrow and Saturday, or today's Friday, right? Saturday. I might not have anything for Sunday. I might, maybe not. I'll be here till Monday. What else? But over at goldprospectorspace.com, Mr. Lodak, the world's greatest moderator and good friend of mine, and my co-host for Reds, Coins, and Collectibles live auction. He hosts watch parties over there. Right now, they're probably watching Whitewater or some other treasure hunting related TV show. Got to go. See you later. Yeah, Gold Prospectors Space. What'd I say? I'm not officially with Gold Prospectors Dream. Oh, well, you're officially with Gold Prospector Space. Never looked better, Ed. Thank you, Mitch. That's right, let's Fossick. Well, when I got here, the river was very high and muddy. They got inundated with rain the other night, almost out of the banks. It's gone down significantly since I've got here yesterday at 5 o'clock. And last I looked, it was cleaning up well. So I might be able to do a little sluicing after I close down my booth tomorrow. And maybe. Won't dredge. I got rid of my dredge. So if you watch Ron F, any of his videos, he is a new owner of my 2-inch dredge. Yeah, the camera is a bit choppier than usual, but we understand. You're live on the laptop from a giant beer can on wheels. Yeah, it's more like a fiberglass box with aluminum framing, but yeah, you're about right, Jess. Yeah, still better pick than some stuff. Yeah, it looks a little grainy. Wonder how it would be if it helped if I turned on this light. I don't know if it helps more, just makes the shirt bleed out a lot. Oh, right. But I saw a deer earlier right on the riverbank not long ago, and a lot of time at night and in the morning. I have a short from last year, I think it was, where there were a bunch of deers out there playing in the soybeans. And the song's like a deer, deer. There's a deer, here's the deer, there's a deer, bucking around and crap like that. But probably see some deer tomorrow. That bright light's a little bright. That's a lot better, huh? I think I'm kind of turd of poop mountain with my 3-inch. Shoot, I wouldn't even mind a 3-inch. I got rid of my 2-inch because I'd like to get a 4-inch. But my friend Troy that I've been talking to about his 4-inch, and he was going to work with me with the percentage of gold and payments. And he ended up not being able to Fossick this year. Great guy. But so I'll have to see about that. There was a dredge rescue. A dredge got swept away overnight. It was on the bank and ended up getting floated away. It was found today about 3 river miles, in a log jam on the Swank East property. And it got mangled, but he already bought a new dredge. What's fossicking? Graveyard fossicking is prospecting. Correct, Joseph. It's the Aussie term for prospecting. So yeah, so that's what fossicking is. What is good, folks? This Corona in my Jelly Bear Mineral Mammal Ohio Prospecting Team koozie. That's good. All things country, good to see you, my man. But yeah, so that's my plan. I have to do any lives from my phone because I'm going to be playing Tuesday Night Hangout Live replays on my computer out at my booth, and that way I can access prospectorsdream.com if and when I need to. Yeah, let my hair down. ATC, that's right, let my hair down. It was a cool, breezy day. I actually had to put on some PJs last night and sleep in a long sleeve shirt. It was kind of nippy. Fairly windy today. 25-mile-an-hour breezes with gusts up to 30 or so. But it's all good. It's all good. What do you need to be on the site? That site for? I have a booth, Mitch. I have a booth. I'm in Vendors Row, and it's a nice. I can run a generator 24/7 on this portion of the lease, and it's a good ground for my travel trailer to be on. BBS dog thinks it needs to be outside. Be back soon. Dogs do that. They need to go outside once in a while. Raining on and off here. Had a guy come in and grind 4 stumps today. So much digging afterward, and it's not the good stuff. Yeah, I can relate. What's this? Yeah, but why Prospectors Dream? Because I sell Prospectors Dream products. I sell dream mats and stuff. Hey, Hobo Rob, how you doing? And they're also a sponsor of my channel and Tuesday Night Hangout Live, which for the 7th year anniversary show, I'll be giving away 2 or 3 adventures leases. I'm sorry, I forgot all about it. I was having such a good conversation with All Things Country, and man, I'm having a brain fart. Who else called in? I forget. Man, sucks getting old. But I had a really good conversation with the guys who called in, and I forgot all about it. Sorry, guys. But Kevin, yes, Kevin, the Canadian hillbilly. Thank you, All Things. Thank you. Gentleman Prospector, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mama Bird, hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. But yeah, Mitch, I'll be selling mostly Prospectors Dreams products while I'm here. I have a bunch of thermo sluices and I have some cube mats. I think I have some banjo pan mats left, which don't tell no one, but that was my idea. When I was beta testing banjo pans, I got it during the middle of winter, and a bad winter too. So I used it in my shed. There's videos on it back there somewhere in my archive. 1,500 videos or something like that. But I used it as a cleanup sluice in the shed. Worked great. I love it that way. And then when I got the other one, and Dave Peterson came out with the micro mat, I cut it up to fit in my banjo pan. And for a while, until he finally started molding them, the only place you could get them was from flashinyourpan.com. So, but yeah. Um, This week's video, I will be showing how to set up and run a recirculating system. We'll be using some of that Dream Mat. Love the stuff. So do I. So do I. And I tell Dave all the time, you better always have a top-notch quality mat, because if I find something that's easier to clean, do a clean out and the recovery, if I find something better, I'll do my best to work with them and I'll use that product. I don't want to sell anybody a product that I don't use or would endorse. And I definitely use Dream Mat. Everything I own has Dream Mat in it, except my stuff from Spike Littlejohn and my Green Mountain Gold Trap. But everything else that takes a mat, it has it in it. Bent Fork Prospecting, hey. Yeah, one bucket is better than no bucket. That's for sure, all things. And I only brought one bucket with me because I wasn't planning on digging much, because I'm a vendor this weekend. And I'll be a social butterfly with people I only see once or twice a year, like Jack and Donna from Up the Creek Prospecting from North Carolina. Great people. I see them twice a year, and that's at Fossick and Gold Rush days. Only thing I don't have Dream Mat is in my dredge. I'm going to fix that. You should. You should. Wait a minute, Mitch. Wasn't that your dredge on Backyard Gold? And didn't you have Dream Mat in it? Welcome back, Joseph. I could have sworn I saw Dream Mat in that sluice, and I thought it was yours. Isn't it yours? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Could be. I'm not right all the time. Probably not even 3/4 of the time. But I'll admit it when I'm wrong. But yeah, I'll be on a little longer live tomorrow. I'm just relaxing. I was enjoying the hot spot with my television. I was kind of, since the water was so high and I couldn't even shovel in a sluice, I was binge watching some YouTube some westerns on YouTube, and I just got done watching that World War II movie, Sisu, about the crazy Turk or crazy Hungarian that became a prospector, and the Nazis tried to steal his gold and he killed them all. Good movie. I thought it was pretty gory at times, but good movie. Saw a couple of good westerns, couple of classics, and I was starting to watch Zorro and taking care of some other stuff, which reminds me, before it gets too dark, I gotta zip up a tent that's on my pop or on my canopy. I use a Cape D mat on my top stack gold cube. I'm going to get micro and mini. The whole cube will be dream mat. On my top, I have micro. Uh, in the middle, I have Cape D, and on the bottom stack, I have micro again, I believe. Or I could use mini. Or I have several different, and some I switch it out. Sometimes I use about 4 or 5 inches of deep V, put it up in my clip on my slick plate. Then I have micro and Cape D, or micro and micro, or micro Cape D mini, or I switch it up. I play with it. But good. It's a great product. And so is the Gold Cube. Gold Cube's a great product. And Vortex conveyor belt matting works. And it does create a vortex, but God, is it a major pain in the beep to do a clean out. And you gotta flip and scrub it to death to get the air out of the vortex cells. You all know that's conveyor belt mat, right? But it works great. Mountain Man Ken uses a ton of it. A Kentucky friend of mine, Orlin, he uses it, swears by it. It works great, but I think personally it's a real pain in the keister to do a clean out. And I don't like clean outs that take me a long time and be in a pain. That's why I love Dream Mat. I have thought of making sand coatings of a stack and pouring my own trays out of aluminum. There you go. I like the setup. I just want to put it on over the vortex. Don't worry about tearing them out, Park. They're held in there with staples and contact cement. They'll pull right out. You won't mess up with them. And I believe Prospectors Dreams have clips you can use for, I think they're like, don't quote me. I don't want to pull up a tab and check, but I don't think they're very much for a set. Or you could make them. I use stainless steel brick ledge flashing, and works really good. But I was really reluctant to take out my mat, and I took one off when Toledo Jess was been talking to David Peterson. Go back 6 years or so, when he was building that aluminum sluice with the vortexes and stuff. We've been watching him that long and kind of working with him for that long, at least 5 years. And for me, Jesse a little longer. And Jesse talked to me about putting it in my gold cube. I was reluctant at first, but after I saw how easy it cleaned out and whatnot, I tore the other one right out. But at that time, I I forget how I clipped it in, but I did. Yeah, that will work too. That will work too, definitely. Exactly, gentlemen. It does work well, works really well for what it is, but it's a bugger to do a clean out. Spray it this way, spray it that way, spray it this way, spray it that way. And then before you can even run material, you gotta make sure all the air bubbles are out of the cells, or you're gonna lose it. Careless whispers in the house. Hello. Too bad you work so much. Gonna be a great day on the river down here in Butler, Ohio, along the beautiful Clear Fork River. But you could always trek over here if you could find the time. And you know how far it is. You check. So, someone singing over me? I don't hear anybody. Hello out there. We did really good there on the Clear Fork. I'm glad, gentlemen. I saw the first video. Good job. Good job. Gold is where you find it. Aaron's in the house. How you doing, Aaron? Good to see you. Aaron usually puts on a really good live stream in vertical mode, portrait, shorts, short lives, whatever. Has a really good showing too. Careless is one of the diehard mods over there, along with all things country and I when I can. And Aaron does really good there in Dahlonega. Nice little spot. Please tell me it's not just me. Anyone hear it? I think it's you, Joseph. Oh, off the roof. Woo. There's some work for you, brother. Aaron does an excellent live. He's very informative, very much in touch with the chat. I give a lot of attaboys to our rookie gold prospector, Aaron. And good video, Aaron, about the misinformation on values and the legalities and stuff of river access, especially east of the Mississippi. And you're right, the river you on is not a navigable river, and the property underneath it is the property owners. It's not the states. And if people trespass without asking permission, in my book, it's as bad as a claim jumper. Ain't am I? Yeah, but people need to be careful. I don't care if okay, especially if you're like us, all things country, Bent Fork, anyone, Mitch, graveyard prospecting, anyone who does videos of gold prospecting, and any prospector in general, to the general public, we are ambassadors of our lifestyle and our hobby. And it only takes one rotten apple to destroy a whole bushel. And That's kind of like what happened up on Lake Superior. Last year, I was having a good time with Mike Pung and Flower Gold Wizard, looking for beach placer on the south shore of Lake Superior. I was using the Prospectors Dream micro banker, did a great job, and and we need to hold our community on a higher standard, because someone who don't know better, and granted, I do not endorse ever digging into any vegetated bank area, and give a good green belt at least 10 feet up onto a bench. But if you're on a scored gravel bar, have at it. That's not the bank. You know what I mean. Above the regular normal high water line in vegetated and wooded area. It's not good. And most states it's illegal or against the rules. Now, if people see us doing that, especially video creators, if they see us doing that, they're going to think it's okay. And then there's not just one prospector being an idiot and potentially wrecking it in an area for all. There's more. So we must always, always do the right thing. Ask permission. Get it in writing. Because it's just like hunting permission. You need to have it in writing, because if a game warden stops you, or someone happens to call a sheriff, say a neighbor sees you on a neighbor's gravel bar on a creek, and you're working away and they call the sheriff will investigate. And if you don't have proper documentation saying you have a legal right to be there and you're not trespassing, it could be a pain in the butt for a while. I am paying for something I did. I hit pause and stopped dead, but not the country music. Oh well, it all happens, brother. Stuff happens. You all good, bro. You're all good. I agree to the point. Let's see. I agree to a point. I dirt fished a public park recently, and the place was absolutely filthy, full of litter and gross trash. Oh, and if you're out detecting, I take trash bags with me all the time. Detecting, prospecting. I even have a rant about it from 2008, 2009, where I'm on Weyerhaeuser forest land in Washington State, and they allow camping and outdoor recreation on this land. It's in between some DNR land and U.S. Forest Service land, and I pulled so much trash out of a couple of nice camp spots, and I took it right to the forest ranger's office, and I'm like, hey, can I dump some trash in your trash bin? Well, no, where'd you get it? Or why? Where'd you get it? They were kind of snobby at first. And I go, I pulled it out of our forest. And just trying to clean up our forest. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, anytime. And they were really cool about it. Magna Man. Hello, hello, hello. My Bluetooth. Well, no worries. You have music. I have no music in the background. I can get music on though if you want music. Because right now I'm just jibber jabbing. Yeah, I could put on some rock music, but I don't know how loud it is. Let me know if it's too loud and you can't hear it. I think I have it like a quarter of a volume, almost. Yeah, it's like quarter of the way up. So let me know if it's too loud. It was making me freeze up a little, try and do too much on this laptop of mine. What else did? It has always been my experience that detectorists, fishermen, hunters, and prospectors are generally more appreciative of nature than people that complain about us. Oh, 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 oh. Give that man a cigar. You are 100% absolutely right. And at first, the people's camp that I camped at, they were a young hippies, living in their tent. It was like their home, they were somewhat homeless. And at first, they were like, oh, I'm raping Mother Nature, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, really? Do you even really have an inkling what I'm doing? I could never get rich or make a living off of what I'm doing right now. All I'm doing is sampling and cleaning some cracks, which the next high water is going to make everything I do vanish. Plus, I'm taking out heavy metals out of the river. Canyon Creek in Southwest Washington I was on. And I'm taking lead out of the waterways, and I know there's cinnabar mines in the area, but fortunately in that area I never came across any amalgamated gold or signs of mercury, but I know there's cinnabar mines closer to the Lewis River, but I don't actually think they're right on Canyon Creek in that area. So cinnabar will actually bleed mercury when processed or gets hot. So it's the ore for mercury. But yeah, I 100% agree with you on that. I am doing very well, Magna Man, and I hope you are too. No? Not too loud? I don't know. What's this? Hey, y'all. First time here. Totally agree with packing it. Pack in, pack it out. Yes, definitely, for sure. And while you're packing out yours, take others with you. And clean up after the slobs. That's good. Go into nature and leave garbage behind. Yeah. I live by it. I preach it. I do my best to be the best ambassador to our lifestyle and hobby, our recreation, as I can. I don't really like the term recreationalist and hobbyist. It must be my Westerner mindset about mining about that. But definitely here in the Midwest, far eastern Midwest where I am now, yeah, I'm definitely, I am a small scale miner, but it's definitely more on the rec end. But when I had my mining claims out in Washington and Northern California, you bet your sweet honey I was looking for wages. I reset Bluetooth, no more country guy for now. Well, I can't hear it, but I think I have a little rock and roll playing in the background. Howdy and welcome. Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Flash in Your Pan community, which I finally call the Flash Fam. And I hope you'll stay around for a while. What's this? That was weird. I was like one country chorus over and over. And guess what? Over again. Gentleman Prospector, we are also helping to oxygenate the waterways by digging, and it helps move the sediments and keep areas clean. That is true, and it does help aerate the gravel beds so the fish that spawn and lay their reeds, it's a lot easier because, no prospector wants loose gravels. We want nice compacted gravels because we know that's where the older gold is. But fish cannot spawn in really hard packed gravels, no matter how hard they hit it with their tail. Ever watch a salmon or a bass make a nest? It's pretty cool. Being in Oregon, I get to deal with people, environmentalists, that don't like seeing dirty water. Well, what are they going to do when Mother Nature decides to let I live north of you, and I know Oregon's west side of the Cascades gets pretty darn wet, too. Apparently, they don't know that it happens every melt-off, every winter, every spring. Well, every spring, every melt-off, there's they would call it mass destruction of hillsides and stuff. Some geologists would. Landslides and stuff. And erosion, natural erosion makes the dirty water. And then they complain about the turbidities coming from our sluices or dredge. There's a story I could say sometime about when me and my son my oldest boy, was up on a logging landing by Baker Lake in the Mount Baker Snoqualmie National Forest. And he drove up in it was a BMW with a Seattle rim around the license plate. And he was talking all like, son, we need to protect this land and preserve it. not well use it, using resources wisely and replenishing. That's why logging companies replant a lot of times 4-to-1 tree harvest. I know Skagit Forestry, we planted 4-to-1. And he was up there talking about old growth forests, this beautiful old growth forest that I've never seen saws and loggers and blah, 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 blah. Well, evidently, the guy doesn't have eyes to see what's in front of him, because there were stumps there with toe boards, notches that were at least harvested 100 years ago, right? And he was talking all preservation, 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 instead of good stewardess, being a good steward and being a true conservationist. He was talking preservationist and very minimal public access to public lands. And I spoke up loud and I said, son, if you can't mine it, you gotta grow it. See this beautiful second growth forest that the loggers ahead of us, had the foresight, since they're living off logging, they're gonna take care of the woods. They clean the floor, they harvest and replant. Yeah, clear cuts may look a little ugly, but they open up the forest canopies and allow the floor to get light again, and it will make the new floor of the new forest that's going to come in there just flourish. And even if they do slash burns, the ashes really add more nutrients to the ground, and you get a lot of blueberries and huckleberries and other berries and stuff for the wildlife. And it's the safest way to log, instead of like selective logging, unless you're in a harvester and you're driving a big old flipping harvester through the woods. Selective logging. God created this planet to be a marvelous machine. It gives us precious metals and precious stones. It gives us what we need to build houses, to build travel trailers, to build automobiles and computers. And if some of these preservationists get their way, we'll be back in the caves, rubbing sticks together for heat. Yeah, and morel mushrooms too, right? Right, Michelle? Oh man, Rob's out of Rockstar. Science has proven that by moving the sediments and disturbing the aggregate helps keep the bacteria from colonizing and spreading and disrupt such processes as deadly algae blooms. Yeah. There was a biologist for the EPA who was actually a dredger, and proved to them that dredging was a benefit to fish habitat. You might still be able to find him on YouTube. Might. But enough of that soapbox preaching to, me preaching here. I'm preaching to the choir. Do I really need to do that? But I will preach about us as a community in whole being the best ambassadors of our lifestyle that we can be. All right. And we all need to remind our fellow YouTubers and friends and digging companions. I'll be with that in 1 second. Joseph, my better half's on the line. Hi, honey. Oh, yeah? Can I wrap up my live stream and talk to you in a minute? You could watch on YouTube if you want. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. You always do. Okay, I love you, honey. I'll give you a call as soon as I'm done with this. Okay, love you. Bye-bye. That was my better half and producer. Or my co-producer. Well, too bad the kid didn't start playing the banjo, yeah? Squeal like a pig! But Joseph, he didn't preach at me. Me and my son were over here enjoying the view. We were camped where the Baker River comes into Baker Lake, right by Mount Baker, Washington. And he didn't preach at us. He drove up and he was talking to his kid loudly. And I would have had to been Tommy, deaf, dumb, and blind not to hear the guy, right? And I'm like, what the beep? What the heck? What are you talking about, dude? And then I started speaking louder about true conservationists and being good ambassadors of the land that the Creator made for us to be good stewards of. We have a wealth of natural resources. Yes, there's people that rape the land and totally exploit it, and they're bad. But there's a lot of miners that are good stewards, a lot of loggers that are good stewards. Farmers, we can't eat without people like Careless, or unless you grow your own or you hunt, It depends, it kind of felt like they were the type that if you're out killing a chicken or slaughtering a calf or something, they're like, oh, you murderer! Why don't you get your chicken or your beef at the store? Hamburger? What do you mean? How do I want my beef? Isn't hamburger pork? It has it in its name. Hamburger. Those kind of just silly. But we had a great morale season here in Missouri. Unfortunately, it's over. Bummer. Yes. A Pinball Wizard reference. I I see that didn't fly over your head, did it? All things country. I live in BC. Ah. Forest Service roads are crawling with weekend warriors that have no respect for nature. Yeah, and a lot of them are probably from Vancouver or something, and they're out there thrashing it too, huh? Dirtying, making the Fraser River Valley a disgusting mess, or some others, you know. It just aggravates me. Well, my friends, you heard the boss. She called me. She has her school reunion this weekend. That's why she's not here with me at this time. But I appreciate you all hanging in. Michelle, thank you for joining us. Or Michelle, thank you very much for joining us. Careless, Joseph, All Things Country, Gentleman Prospector, Mr. Lodak, working multiples. Nothing's wrong with BMW. I love German engineering. I'd love a BMW. I'd love a Porsche. I'd love a Mercedes Benz. But I really miss my Volkswagen buses. And no, I'm not a hippie. I'm a long hair, not a hippie. But yeah. I'm going to get off now, and I'm going to call my better half. So thank you all for joining. Make sure to hit the like button. If you're chatting in the chat room, I know you're a subscriber, and I do that for you and I. It eliminates a lot of the bot action. The trolls will wait. They'll subscribe, wait, and talk and troll, and then unsubscribe. But with some of my great moderators, the trolls don't last long, and I don't usually get many trolls. I miss my old school VW bug and my newer 1980 Volkswagen Rabbit diesel. Both cars. I like German cars. I am quite a bit Bavarian, but Austrian, German, Bavarian. But I like German engineering. My dream car is the Turbo Carrera Porsche, black with the whale's tail, and I'd be putting it to its test. But I love my Baja bug, and I loved my buses. I took them all over. Some places it's surprising I got them in and out, but I did. Come join me this Sunday live. It's gonna be a special one. Setting up my full beach setup. Well, try to hit it. I'll still be here on location at the Swank West property, and I will have my booth open for business during the day on Sunday. If it gets really dead in the afternoon and I can catch it, I'll do my best. All things country. But really, I'm going to get off, call Judy, and see how her night went. See if she's going to come and join me on Sunday. 66 bug. Nice. Volkswagens, they don't leak oil. They mark their spot like Harley Davidsons. All right, my friends, if I don't end this soon, I'm going to sit here for another hour and Judy's going to be like, he said he was going to get right off. But I appreciate each and every one of you hanging out, and everyone who's new to the family, welcome. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll be live more this weekend and do a wrap up tomorrow night, but probably be doing some live during the day. So until next time, may you always have a flash in your pan. And you know what he's gonna say next, right? Yeah, maybe one day too. I'll meet you on the river. But for this very second, right now, I'm out of here. Five, four, three, two, one. I'm not off yet. What the heck? Extreme.